video is not made for kids. Your discretion is advised. Hello to my subscribers, this is the TFangi coming to you with a review that I've been wanting to do since I got this figure, and this is a video review on a Transformers figure I've been wanting to add to my collection for quite some time. So I was finally able to get it last month in January. It's one of the first Transformers purchases I made for the year 2022. So here he is in all his glory, the Transformers Shattered Glass Megatron figure. So yes, this is the heroic version of Megatron from the parallel universe of Shattered Glass, where the Autobots are the evil Transformers and the Decepticons are the heroic Transformers. And I have to be honest, it was the announcement of Shattered Glass Megatron that made me go and get the Shattered Glass Optimus Prime and Ratchet 2-pack. So this figure is actually what inspired me to try and sort of go down the path of collecting the Transformers Shattered Glass action figures. I only have half of the Shattered Glass Transformers that have been released so far, and the ones that I do not have, I haven't been able to find them at decent prices on any of the websites where I buy Transformers figures from. But I'm happy that I was able to find the Shattered Glass version of Megatron. So, starting with Megatron and all of the subsequent Transformers Shattered Glass figures, the Transformers Shattered Glass line has become its own new subline of Transformers action figures. Hasbro released the Shattered Glass Optimus Prime and Ratchet figures in a 2-pack in the Generation Selects line as a test to see if Transformers fans and collectors were interested in buying up action figures based off of the Shattered Glass Transformers characters, and the Shattered Glass Optimus Prime and Ratchet 2-pack, it sold successfully enough that Hasbro and Takara decided to release more figures based on the Shattered Glass Transformers characters in their own subline. So yes, the Shattered Glass Transformers figures, they do have their own unique designed box. It's of similar shape to the same boxes used on the Transformers War for Cybertron trilogy boxes. The one exception being, except for having one side that's slanted off, or actually I take it back, it's not it's actually more similar towards the Transformers Studio Series 86 line of Transformers action figures rather than the War for Cybertron trilogy boxes. But unlike the Transformers Studio Series 86 Transformers boxes that are perfect squares, the Shattered Glass Transformer looks like there's like a piece of broken glass. There's shards that have been chipped off from the side of it. So there's a sculpted surface right there that looks like the box has been sliced off. And then right here on the front artwork for Megatron, it looks like a piece of the perfectly square shaped box has been slashed off. So it's an interesting design choice on the boxes for the Shattered Glass Transformers figures. So there's a close up of that artwork of Megatron. You've got the same artwork here on this side of the box. Same artwork here on this side of the box, just zoomed out even more. There's Megatron on there. And of course, the key feature for the Shattered Glass Transformers figures is that the faction symbols, the heroic faction symbols being red and the evil faction symbols being purple, has not changed. So, Shattered Glass Megatron has a red Decepticon logo on his chest, just as the Shattered Glass Optimus Prime has a purple Autobot logo on his shoulder. Oh, that's pretty interesting to see. You got the Transformers Generations logo right there. So even though Shattered Glass is its own subline of Transformers figures, it's still falls under the wider umbrella branch of the Transformers Generations line. And I love the brand new Shattered Glass logo that's been designed right here on the box. I don't know if there's an Autobot variant of the Shattered Glass logo that's pictured here on Megatron's box. That's again, the Shattered Glass Transformers figures that I have not collected are Shattered Glass Goldbug, Shattered Glass Blur, and Shattered Glass Jetfire. I haven't been able to find those figures yet, so I don't know if there's an Autobot logo variant of the Shattered Glass logo that's been created by here. But it is very intricate in its design, and I think it's a incredible design to show in here. And I also love how here on the actual word Transformers that's printed on the side of the box, it transitions from purple to red to show that in the Shattered Glass universe, the roles of the Transformers characters who are good and evil, they're flipped around down compared to the non-Shattered Glass or regular universe of Transformers characters. So yeah, that's pretty interesting to see. So coming on here to the back of the box, you've got your official product photos. You got Megatron in his robot mode, and in his brand new vehicle mode. And before we go explain that in detail, here on this side of the box, you've got a brief bio for Shatterglass Megatron, and that's why I that's why I said a moment ago that the Shatterglass Transformers figures, the boxes that they come packaged in, they're much similar in appearance to the Transformers Studio Series 86 line. So Shatterglass Megatron's bio reads, Megatron, the heroic leader of the Decepticons, stands against tyranny and fights to bring peace to all Cybertronians. So yeah, that's pretty much Generation 1 Optimus Prime's bio right there, summed up for Shatterglass Megatron. Now, for those of you wondering, why does Shatterglass Megatron have a new vehicle mode? That is because the original Shatterglass Megatron action figure and in the original Shatterglass comic books, oops, the Shatterglass storyline was created in 2000. I believe it was created either in late 2004 or early 2005. I think it might have been 2004 for the 20th anniversary of the Transformers franchise. And at the time in 2004, the most recent Megatron action figure that had been released had been the Transformers Energon version of Megatron, which transformed from a robot into a Cybertronian spacecraft. And that served as the basis for Megatron's design in the first live action Transformers movie. So, Shatterglass Megatron, Hasbro and Takara they designed three new parts, a pair of wings that, just like the Energon Megatron figure from 2004, they can sit on the back of the new generation Shatterglass Megatron on its back. And he also has a new jet mode cockpit, which here on the product photo shows that it can be detached and be used as a type of shield when Megatron's in his robot mode. And those three new parts, along with the act of not transforming Megatron's robot mode legs into the tank treads, and just leaving them sprawled out, it allows you to transform Shatterglass Megatron into a type of jet aircraft, just like the original Shatterglass Megatron figure, which was released exclusively through the official Transformers convention BotCon. But despite those but because those three new parts are separate pieces that can detach and reattach due to how this version of Megatron transforms, he still has the tank mode just like the original Siege Megatron. On this figure is a straight up repaint of the Siege Megatron figure that was released in 2019, right down to having the exact same head sculpt. So those new parts don't affect to the transformation on this figure. So even though it's not shown on the product photos here on the box, the Generation Shatterglass Megatron action figure, it is now technically a triple changer due to the fact that it can transform into a robot, a tank, and a jet aircraft with those wings and cockpit pieces that have been designed for it. So yeah, that's having him be a triple changer. It's and you're that pretty much as a plus approval for me having when Megatron has two vehicle modes. And yes, I just cannot get over how excited I am to finally have the Shatterglass Megatron action figure in my Transformers collection. So, without further delay, we will get the heroic Decepticon leader out of the box and take a close look at him in robot mode. Alright, and here is Shatterglass Megatron out of the box, transformed into his robot mode, and with all of his accessory pieces attached to him. And going by the product photos on the back of the box, they didn't. It almost looked like they were going to include the cannon sword that the Siege Megatron figure came with, but he does come with it. So, yes, you have all the parts necessary to transform Shatterglass Megatron into the tanks, just like Siege Megatron. And because of the clearance space with the shield, the only arm that you can attach the sword and the shield in is to have them on different arms. So that's why Megatron's holding the sword in the same arm that he has his fusion cannon attached to. You know, but yeah, all in all, I'm really thrilled with how Shatterglass Megatron came out. The only gripe I have is that they didn't design any 5mm pegs where his new wings could have attached to the outside of the treads, just to give him like a wider wingspan. It almost looks like that's almost what it looks like they attached to on the product photo on the back of his box. but instead the new wings just attached to the back of the treads using same 5mm ports that were there on the Siege figure. And again, the only real place to store the jet mode cockpit is here on his other arm as a shield. So yeah, all in all Shatterglass Megatron is really impressive looking. So for some size comparisons, here he is next to the original Siege Megatron action figure, and even though this guy's fresh out of the box, his joints are much tighter than they are on my copy of Siege Megatron. Again, this version of the Shatterglass Megatron is a straight up repaint of the Siege Megatron figure, so if you were to remove the backpack wings and the new jet cockpit shield on here you end up having the same figure that you get with Siege Megatron, just done in different colors. One thing that I do like on Shatterglass Megatron is that they tightened the neck joint, so unlike the original Siege Megatron, the neck joint itself doesn't flop up and down, so that's a nice improvement over this version. And again, the gimmick with the Siege line was that the Transformers had battle damage markings all over them here, and so because Shatterglass Megatron is nice and clean, and he doesn't have any battle damage scars on him, it really helps differentiate the fact that Shatterglass Megatron is a hero, and the regular Siege version of Megatron is a villain, so that's pretty fantastic looking. And for another robot mode size comparison, of course, here is Shatterglass Megatron next to his arch rival Shatterglass Optimus Prime. I'm and again just and again I really am impressed to finally have both the Shatterglass Megatron and Optimus Prime figures standing side by side with each other. Megatron does look like he has the advantage of having more weapons on here, but then you could joke that Shatterglass Optimus Prime only needs his one laser gun, and Megatron needs all these weapons, and they're still evenly matched. So if Megatron didn't have all these extra accessory pieces, then Shatterglass Optimus Prime would defeat him in battle quite easily. And now that I have the Shatterglass Megatron figure, I can make a joke that boom, he just blasted Shatterglass Optimus Prime in the chest. In the Shatterglass comic books, Megatron tried to uh, finish off Shatterglass Optimus Prime, and that's why the Shatterglass Optimus Prime figure has a punctured windshield right here because Megatron tried to blast him away. But it's also a reference to the fact that the title of this alternate universe of Transformers, where there's evil Autobots and heroic Decepticons, is Shatterglass. So yeah, real nice inside joke to that. But since this review is focused on Megatron, again, apart from having slightly tighter joints, he does have the same articulation as Siege Megatron. The head's on a ball joint, so he can look left and right. He can look up and down. Arms can go forwards and backwards. You have a swivel joint right above the elbow joint, which is also on a hinge. You got wrist swivels, a waist rotation, Asian universal jointed hips. The legs can go inward and outward, forward and back, but going back is a little hindered due to the backpack. Swivel joints in the hips hinge joints in the knees, and you have ankle rockers, but they're actually on ratchet joints, so use those at your own risk. But yeah, I am really thrilled with how Shatterglass Megatron came out, and I just really enjoy the paint job that was chosen, the paint layout that was chosen for Shatterglass Megatron. It almost looks like his appearance from the Marvel comic books, in which he had a black helmet instead of a silver one that matched the rest of his body. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this creamy white and black paint job of that Shatterglass Megatron has going in with the blue and teal highlights. Pretty much the only gripe I have with this figure is that the new pieces that allow him to transform into his new vehicle mode of a Cybertronian jet, the two wings and the cockpit section, it's all done in clear blue plastic with some red paint on the wings, and then a lot of white paint for the cockpit section, along with the black nose cone. And of course, there's the Shatterglass Decepticon logo right there. But yeah, I'm really thrilled to be able to see it all. And I apologize if I sound like a broken record, but Shatterglass Megatron was one of the figures that was at the top of my list to collect. So I'm just beyond thrilled to finally have him in hand. So without further delay, now that we've looked at Shatterglass Megatron in his robot mode, we will get him transformed. We will first transform him into his new jet mode, Ode, and we will take a take a close look at the brand new vehicle for him that is designed to homage the original Shatterglass Megatron figure that was released back in 2004 or 2005. I can't remember the exact year. But we will look at his new Cybertronian jet mode. Alright, and so here is Shatterglass Megatron in the official transformed mode of his brand new vehicle of the Cybertronian spaceship. And for what it does, trying to recapture the image of the Transformers Energon version of Megatron. Considering what Hasbro and Takara Tomi's decision to just have Shatterglass Megatron be a straight-up repaint of Siege Megatron, on trying to turn a version of Megatron that was originally designed to only transform into a tank, I think they did a somewhat decent job of trying to again recreate the jet mode that's the Shatterglass Megatron figure originally had, being the original version being a straight up repaint of Energon Megatron. On some people might think that the wings are out of place, being made entirely out of clear blue plastic, but the original Energon Megatron figure, the wings were half of the wings were made out of clear green plastic, and if I remember correctly from photos I've seen, the original Shatterglass Megatron figure had the wings done in clear blue plastic as well, so that's actually fairly accurate to Shatterglass Megatron's original action figure a year now. Here in the official orientation of the vehicle mode, you're supposed to leave the sword that forms the front half of the tank cannon detached from it, and have the tank turret facing this way, so it looks like there's a place to shoot blast effects out of over the top of the cockpit of the jet mode. You can angle the cockpit down. You can have it angled downward ever so slightly, and you can keep the you can attach the cannon to the front of it like the original Siege Megatron if you desire, and you can have this huge cannon facing the front of the spaceship. Or if you want, you can have it rotated around to make it look like there's a giant cannon coming out of the back of the spaceship, but at the correct angle, having the cannon attached to the back of it like that does make it look like Siege Megatron's the front tank mode as well. And also, it's all personal preference if you want to keep the fusion cannon attached while Shatterglass Megatron's in his vehicle mode or not. The main concern to be had with having the fusion cannon attached to the front like this is the paint scraping off of the heroic Shatterglass Decepticon logo that's there on the front, and having it facing backwards like that, and it doesn't really help the spaceship mode too well. And if you look at it from a certain angle, it does look like the tank mode having a bunch of jet mode parts hanging off the back of it. So it's all your choice if you want to have the sword cannon attached to it or not. I personally don't mind. I am the appearance of but yeah, let's just get this to the official vehicle mode right here. Kind of almost wish they would have at least made one retooled part where you could attach the cannon here on the top, because having it attached to the top like that would have made it look even more like the original Energon Megatron figure did, the original Shatterglass Megatron figure. So, for those wondering, how do you get Megatron into this orientation to have the cockpit section of the jet mode attached? Well, here is the Siege Megatron in the same transformation, where you almost have him transformed into the tank, but instead of rotating the tank turret into the direction it's supposed to be facing, you have it pointing backwards, which is where it ends up in robot mode. And then instead of transforming the legs into the back treads, you have them rotated like this, where the feet are facing directly at each other, and then you have these 5mm eggs on top, and that's how you attach the cockpit of the jet mode. And then you'll just attach the wings to the 5mm pegs on the sides of those tank treads right there. So if you wanted to, you could take the three jet mode parts off Shatterglass Megatron and put them on Siege Megatron if you were so desired to see what that looks like. I'm not going to do that right now because the video review's gone on longer than I wanted it to. So, but yes, all in all for again for Hasbro and Dakar, considering Hasbro and Dakar Tommy's decision to have this be a straight up repaint of Siege Megatron, I think they did a somewhat of a okay job of creating a jet mode for this figure. So we will get this guy transformed, armed into the tank mode, and do one last size comparison of him with Siege Megatron. For another size comparison, while he's in his official vehicle mode of a Cybertronian spaceship, here is a Shatterglass Megatron next to Shatterglass Optimus Prime, who doesn't want to cooperate. Okay. So yeah, there's Shatterglass Megatron next to Shatterglass Optimus Prime. I'm really happy to finally have both of these figures in my Transformers collection. Actually, I'm really starting to get into the storyline of the line of Transformers Shatterglass, and so I'm really happy to finally have figures of both the Shatterglass version of Optimus Prime and now Megatron in my collection. Alright, so let's get this guy transformed. I'm going to take a close look at him in tank mode. Alright, and here is Shatterglass Megatron in the tank mode. And again, on the back of the box and also here in the instruction sheet for Shatterglass Megatron, it does not show him having the tank as one of his vehicle modes. It shows that the jet is the only vehicle that he officially is supposed to transform into, so the tank mode was only discovered when it was realized that he not only came with the same cannon sword that the original Siege Megatron figure had, and a lot of Transformers fans and collectors were wondering if he could transform into the tank. When official product photos were shown, this accessory piece wasn't included, but since Hasbro and Takara Tomy decided to include it after all, because it's omitted from both the instruction sheet and the product photos on the packaging, you can still turn Shatterglass Megatron into the tank mode that the original Siege Megatron figure transformed into, and there's a peg on this one arm panel that's not lining up properly. Let me see if I can get that fixed. So I don't know why that's not lining up properly, but for some reason it's not. But yeah, since he does come with the same sword that the original Siege Megatron figure had, you can officially, unofficially, or is it unofficially, officially? No, it's officially, unofficially transform Shatterglass Megatron into the same tank mode that Siege Megatron transforms into. Ooh, so it is nice that he is unofficially a triple changer. Now, unfortunately, there's no real place to put the three new jet mode parts of the wings, or the cockpit while he's transformed into the tank mode. The only way to attach the wings is to attach them here on the back sides of the tank, and there's no place to store the cockpit section. There's no 5mm peg holes available to store it in a place that doesn't look silly or awkward. But yeah, it is nice that he can transform into the same tank as Siege Megatron regardless. And here, once again, here he is next to Shatterglass Optimus Prime. Again, they are almost the same size. But yes, it is nice to see him being able to have Siege Megatron's tank mode and be a triple changer. So for my final thoughts, do I recommend getting Shatterglass Megatron and adding him to your collection? Absolutely I do. You cannot go wrong having the Shatterglass version of Megatron in your Transformers collection, and despite the fact that the tank mode is omitted. I'm glad that it still has the ability to transform into that mode regardless. And yeah, when all's said and done, I do wholeheartedly enjoy having Shatterglass Megatron in my Transformers collection at last. So that is quite fun to have him in there. It has been a little difficult for Transformers collectors to get a hold of Shatterglass Megatron due to the fact that, unlike the Shatterglass Optimus Prime and Ratchet figures, which were released in the Transformers Generation Selects line, the Shatterglass Transformers figures, at least here in the United States, they've been released exclusively on Hasbro Pulse, so they have been less exclusive than Shatterglass Optimus Prime was, and the Shatterglass Optimus Prime and Ratchet 2-pack. But fortunately, there have been copies of the Shatterglass Transformers figures popping up on sporadically on Amazon, and there's been a few copies on eBay that have been going for a decent enough price. Nice, but yes, I do highly recommend getting the Shatterglass Megatron figure and adding it to your collection. Action, you cannot go wrong having the heroic Shatterglass Megatron from the Mirror Universe, where you have evil Autobots and heroic Decepticons. Even if you don't have the Shatterglass Optimus Prime figure from the Generation Selects line, as a standalone figure, Shatterglass Megatron does a pretty fantastic job of being a unique, being a fascinating enough Transformers figure in its own right. And again, pretty much the only real gripes that I have with this figure is having no real proper place to store the sword weapon in the jet mode, and how the cockpit section is held together by the remote legs isn't that great. And of course, the wings are made of clear plastic. But on top of all that, I am super thrilled to have Shatterglass Megatron in my Transformers collection. Actually, I might fiddle around with this off camera and see if I can maybe find a better way of attaching the sword weapon in the jet mode. But yeah, all in all I do wholeheartedly enjoy having Shatterglass Megatron on in my Transformers collection. So thank you guys all so much. This has been the TFN Geek, and this has been my review of the heroic leader of the heroic Decepticons from the universe of Shatterglass. This has been Shatterglass Megatron. I highly recommend you get this figure if you can. And until next time, you guys, transform and roll out. Goodbye, everyone.